Hi there. When was the last time you did something not because it was on the agenda or because someone was watching or it was expected of you, but because something deep inside you said, "This is why I'm here"? If you had to pause to remember, then this episode is for you. Or maybe someone you know. So pull up a chair, grab a cup of water or some tea. Let's have a conversation today. Welcome to the Achieve Intentional Transformation podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Leonie H. Mattison. To all returning listeners, welcome back, my friends. Well, I've missed you. Yeah. To our new listeners, we're so glad you found your way here. Just know it's always a gift to be in community with you. This show exists for one reason, and that is to help leaders, people like you who carry enormous responsibility, who hold entire ecosystems together to move through disruption without losing the most important thing you brought into the room, and that is yourself. Yes. Today we're talking about something I know many of you are experiencing. Now, even if you haven't named it yet, I'm talking about the quiet creeping disconnection from your calling, from the reason you said yes to the work in the first place, from the version of yourself that just knew what you were built for. That is who I'd like to have a conversation with today. So are you ready? Pull up a chair. Now, before we go there, I have to tell you a story, because this story is actually what this entire episode is about. I just didn't know it when it happened. A while back, my team and I were deep in one of those initiatives. You know the ones, the kind where the pressure is high, the stakes are real, and everyone in the room is running on caffeine, conviction, and a deep drive. We had been at it for hours. My eyes were tired, so I did what any rational, composed executive leader would do. I rubbed my eyes really hard. Now, what I forgot to remember in that moment is that I was wearing lash extensions. Yes, full, gorgeous, meticulously applied lash extensions. And when I rubbed my eyes, ooh, they fell, both of them. The room went quiet, and then from across the table, one of my colleagues, bless his heart, pointed at the floor and said, "Dr. Lee, your eyes are on the floor." We stopped everything, a full room of professionals, and I was on my hands and knees looking for my lashes. And just when I thought the situation could get really no more dignified, someone held the lashes up triumphantly and said, "Dr. Lee, here are your lashes." The room erupted with laughter until I cried. And then I put them back on eventually, and we reconnected to the work. But every time I think about it, "Dr. Lee, your eyes are on the floor." Oh my God. Now, let me take a deep breath. I'm having a moment. Here's the thing about that story. We laughed because it was funny, and it really was. But I thought about that moment many times since then, because there is something uncomfortably true in it. My friends, you see, as leaders, as teams, as organizations, we spend so much energy searching for something on the floor that was never lost. It was just no longer where we expected it to be, because somewhere in the pressure, in the performance, In the relentless pace of it all, we drifted. And we're led to believe that the leader who has it together is the leader who never shows a crack, never asks for more time, never admits that somewhere between the title and the to-do list, they lost the thread of why any of this mattered. So we keep searching the floor, scrolling through strategies, booking another team retreat, downloading another framework, and each has its place in leadership, yes. But to the leader who has told yourself that you need to find you, or that your organization needs to find itself, stop trying to find yourself. You are not lost. You are disconnected. You have wandered quietly, gradually, often without knowing, into a bubble, and I call it a bubble of illusion of confusion. This is the place where the noise of leadership has become so constant that you can no longer hear the signal. And the signal, my friends, is your calling, your deeper self. The reason any of this work ever was even worth the cost. And I want you to know, this is not a personal failing. This is a pattern, a documented, studied, measurable pattern. Don't believe me? Let's look at the data. A 2023 Deloitte global survey of more than 3,000 senior executives found that while 86% said purpose was important to their organization's success, fewer than half said they personally felt strongly disconnected to their own sense of purpose at work. Think about that. The people responsible for driving purpose-driven cultures have lost their own connection to their thread. Harvard Business Review research on executive burnout found that one of the primary early symptoms is not exhaustion. It is the quiet disappearance of meaning. Leaders stop feeling the resonance of their work long before they stop doing it. However, they keep going. The calendar stays full, and the results continue to come. But guess what, my friends? Something inside has gone quiet. Does any part of that feel familiar? I want you to think about that for a moment. Have you lost connection to who you are as a leader, leading an organization that is purpose-driven? There's a disconnect there. I once worked alongside a senior leader, brilliant, decorated, deeply respected. She had built something extraordinary. Teams trusted her, the board admired her, communities leaned on her. But in a private conversation, the kind that only happened when the room emptied and the performance goes with it, she said something I have never forgotten. She said, I keep going, I keep doing the work, but I am not sure I am in the work anymore. I'm watching myself do it like I'm standing at a distance from my own self. That is not burnout. That is disconnection. And I say this because burnout says, I have nothing left to give. Disconnection says, I've forgotten who was doing the giving. And the tragedy is this: proximity to the work does not protect you from distance from yourself. In fact, the more consumed you are by the work, the more invisible the disconnection becomes. Until one day you look up and wonder, whose life is this exactly? I would like to invite you to try something with me right now. If you're driving, please keep your eyes on the road. You can always return to this recording at a later time. If you're walking, sitting, running, or standing in a kitchen, maybe 6 o'clock, 6 p.m., 6 a.m., wherever you are, I want you to hum just for a moment. No melody is required. Just hum. And I'm going to do it as well. Feel that? Feel that vibration, that resonance that you can feel in your chest, your throat, behind your eyes. That is you. That is me. Not my title, not the strategy, not the quarterly review. Leonie. There's a reason my grandmother hummed while she worked, I realized. And it was because that's how she stayed connected to herself while the world made its demands on her. And somewhere in the distance between who you are called to be and who the calendar has turned you into, humming is a way that might help you to find your way back. Or rocking, I like to rock. Not because it's a strategy, but because it's a signal, a reminder that you're still in there, that the calling has not left, that you need to come back to who you were meant to be. You were hired for a reason, and you owe it to yourself and the organization to show up as your best self. I want to leave one word inside you today, one image, one truth to carry with you when the pressure returns. And the word is roots. A tree does not search for itself, it grows from where it is anchored. The tallest tree in the forest, the one that has survived every storm, is not the one with the longest reach. It is the one with the deepest roots. And your calling is your root system. The pressure has not destroyed it. The confusion has not killed it. And I want to remind you of that. You have just drifted above the ground, and it is time for you to come back to who you are. So come back. I'm calling you back to yourself. So you may ask, Dr. Lee, how do we reconnect? How do we come back to ourselves? Through the T.H.R.E.A.D system, 6 practices I developed through years of working with leaders at every level of disruption, and which were shaped by my own disruption and life's unpredictables that forced me to do exactly what I'm asking you to do now, to come back to yourself as a leader. 1. T. Think deeply. Before your next high-stakes meeting, before the next strategic decision, take 5 minutes, just 5, and ask yourself one question. What do I actually believe about this work right now? Not what you're supposed to believe, not the talking points. What does the person behind the title actually think? That pause with honesty is your private audit and how the connection begins to return. Practice 2, H. Harvest wisdom. Go back to the beginning, not in nostalgia, in excavation. Ask yourself, why did I say yes to this work in the first place? What was it that I believed I could do for people? What problem was I born to solve? That original answer is your wisdom. Harvest it. That wisdom has been waiting for you to come back to it and claim it. Practice 3, R. Release patterns. This is where you know that there's a version of you that learned to perform, perfect, and power through leadership in order to survive leadership. Well, the always available leader, the never uncertain leader, the leader who has answers before the questions are finished, that pattern protected you. But my friends, it is also hiding you. Release one performance this week. Let one person see that you're a human being. Not because it's a vulnerability strategy, but because it's your truth. Next, E in this allies. Find the person in your life who knew you before the title, who knew what you were made of before the world confirmed it. Call them, not to talk about work, but to help you to remember who you are outside of the title. That conversation could be the medicine that your soul craves. Practice 5. Adopt change. I want you to pick one daily practice, one that has nothing to do with your output and everything to do with your aliveness. Maybe it's a walk, hum, or sit in silence for a few minutes. I invite you to write the one sentence that is true today, not as a productivity tool, but rather as a homecoming ceremony to yourself. And finally, design wholeness. Ask yourself this question this week. Is the life I am building from the outside actually reflecting the person I am on the inside? Not as a crisis, but as calibration. Because wholeness is not a destination, it is a daily practice. And it begins the moment you are willing to look at the gap between who you are performing and who you actually are. Think about that. Here's what I want you to walk away with today. You are not lost. You have not failed or become someone else. You perhaps have drifted into the bubble of a calling you have not yet remembered. You still carry. The roots are still there. Your calling is still there. And the deepest version of who you are and why you lead, it has been waiting. It's not lost. And the path back is not another plan. It's a practice. A thread to pull, a pattern to see, and a self, your whole full rooted self, you need to return to it. Return to yourself. So thank you for being here. Thank you for taking time to be part of this conversation. And thank you for trusting this space with the part of leadership that don't make it into the board deck. I get it. I understand it. You're always welcome here. You can listen to this podcast, watch this video at any time. So in closing, what one thing are you doing every day that reminds you, not the world, not your calendar, not your team, but you, what you were actually called to do? I invite you to sit with that. Write it down if you need to. And if the answer is unclear, that's not a problem. That is the beginning. And also, share with me how this resonated with you. Share with me other practices that the community could benefit from. I always enjoy reading your emails and your comments. So thank you for the gift of your presence and time. You take care now and have a wonderful rest of the day, the week, the month, the year. Take care now, my friends.